And welcome to another episode of Midlife My Ass. I'm just getting started. It's Lonnie Ray, and I'm so stoked today to have with me Shannon.
Hi, everybody. I can't believe I'm sitting here next to you, like in the flesh.
Right? How cool is that? Pinch me.
Pinch me.
We're thrilled to be together. This is what happens when LinkedIn, you take it offline and magic happens. But the reason that I love this woman so much is because of her attitude, her outlook, her insights on the rest of life, the stuff that makes a difference from the health part, like the inside out, that makes a difference in how it is that we can live the rest of our life. If we feel good, we can definitely express that, right?
Yeah,
If we don't, then that's what shows up, right?
Sure. If we feel good, we can live good.
Oh, I like that.
Just came up with it.
She's quick. That's why I love her. So what we want to do is just discuss some of the things that you and I had shared off camera about what it's like with hormones and how, midlife, although it's a stage, not an age, it is recognized as something that happens in our midlife area of life or physical transformation time. Mm-hmm. And you had a lot to say about that, how it made a difference for you. It's not something I can relate to, which I know were grounds for being jelly and hateful, but you got over it.
Yeah, I was kind of jealous that you couldn't relate to it. I'm like, why not?
No, never have. I don't get the sweats. I don't get none of that. It hasn't happened.
Oh my gosh.
So some of us got lucky. Hey.
Yeah, hey, good for you. I think it's important because usually it happens to every woman. They feel something.
Tell them, I don't want to hear about it.
They feel something. As early as your 30s, your hormones start to decline. And I think a lot of times women don't realize what's going on. You just don't feel right. You feel kind of off. It's the only way I know to describe it. And, I remember taking an inventory of my life. And I was like, well, my family's good, my health is good, my love life is good. Everything was good, but I was so sad and I didn't know why, until I went to an integrative medicine doctor, got my hormones checked, and I realized that I was depleted in so many things. And these hormones actually affect our mental outlook, how we feel about things, our mood, so many things they affect.
Wow, who knew?
Yeah.
So is it remedied through a patch? Is it a trial and error kind of thing? Is it the food that you eat? Like what's the solution?
It's so many different things. I mean, for me, it was actually seeing an integrative medicine doctor and going on bioidentical hormones, because a lot of women are afraid to go on hormones because there's a scare with cancer risk, and these are with synthetic hormones. And I don't think women know that bioidentical hormones exist, and they're creams that are compounded by compound pharmacies. Your doctor actually titrates it based on what your levels are, and I started to feel good within a couple of weeks. I was like, wow, that's what I was missing. You can, if you're like waking up in the middle of the night, probably means your progesterone is low. If your hair is starting to fall out and get dry and brittle and you find yourself really moody, it probably means your estrogen is low. If you find that your sex drive is not as strong as it was before, or you can't orgasm like you used to before, your testosterone is probably low. Women have testosterone. Our thyroid start to decrease in function as we start to get older. You start to put on more weight. It affects your bone health, your bone density. So it's a lot. It's an awful lot to think about.
Wow. So for those of you out there, and this is the reason I wanted to bring it to light, Shannon, is because in spite of all if you just meditated more, if you just changed your vibration, you'd feel better. Well, not necessarily the case. There's some underlying really innate things going on in our physiology.
Exactly.
That need to be looked at, ladies.
Mm-hmm. It's physiological for sure. And it's measurable. Once I started on these, like you were saying, a patch and a pill and a cream, I was so depressed, like my hair was falling out. I'd wake up in the morning, hair was on my pillow. I wore it back all the time. I mean, I'm wearing my hair down now. I feel fine with that. But it was dry, it was brittle. I don't even know whose hair it was because it didn't look like my hair. I certainly didn't have the volume that I used to have when I was younger. Just skin dry and mood changes and all those things until I was able to get, medication to help with that.
Wow. So you went to see a particular kind of doctor for that?
Yeah, because a lot of GYNs don't really know anything about bioidentical hormones. So I
Wow.
always recommend the books by Susan Summers. And I'm like, yeah, Susan Summers from Three's Company.
Yeah.
She wrote so many books. I'm Too Young for This, Ageless. And she talks about that and does a lot of research. So this isn't anything that's like new information, but it's just something that a lot of us women don't know about. And I see these women when I'm out and I can tell that they have this going on inside of them, but they're like, oh, I'm just going to go through menopause naturally. And you're like, but you need your estrogen for your heart. You need it for your bones.
Wow.
Wow.
There's so much more to it than just having a hot flash. That's something I know about,
Yes.
but I'm just saying.
Yeah. That's when your hormones are dropping, is when you're having a hot flash.
Oh, look at that. My friend came over and she was fixing the plumbing, and she's like, you have the cleanest hair drain. You don't have any in there. And I said, I don't know what you're talking about. She said, well, I lose hair all the time.
Mm-hmm.
And I just don't. And
Mm-hmm.
I'm not bragging. I'm just saying
Mm-hmm.
there's no symptom in that regard.
Mm-hmm.
So if there's other symptoms somebody can look for
Mm-hmm.
that say, hey, maybe you could use a little bit of a check-in, maybe a checkup.
Yeah.
So it's moodiness.
Not being able to sleep. That's a big one. Your sex drive just is doing this, very snappy, the least little thing and you're like crying about it, those are some real, you have weight gain because your metabolic rate is starting to decline. It's a lot of stuff, dry skin.
Interesting. So the good news through all of this is that there are solutions. She's the walk and talk and poster child for it. Look at this hair. She's amazing and gorgeous, age defying even.
Thank you.
Great genes, really.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, you have great
Lots
genes.
of water.
But yeah, lots of water and certainly some know-how. And applying that know-how in the modern day use of it is at your disposal. So why wouldn't you? Why wouldn't you go find somebody that can help maybe adjust even just one little thing, even 1% difference makes all the difference in whether we feel like, midlife my ass, I'm just getting started, or, screw it, I'm done.
Yeah.
Why give up?
Yeah, you really start to feel your old self again. You go so long with having your hormones decline, I think your body just kind of compensates for it. But I remember sitting in the GYN office and he gave me a sample of the patch and I put it on right then. And I said to him, that's it, that's what I needed. I could just tell that was it. And I started to feel like, oh, my mood perked up. I started to sleep during the night. I was waking up at 3:00 every single night, Lonnie, for a year.
Oh, God.
And I didn't know what was going on. Do you know how hard it is to wake up at 3:00 and can't go back to sleep? You still got to function. You still got to go to work. It was so depressing.
Wow.
And I hear a lot of women say, I just can't sleep. I can't sleep. And I'm like, oh, it's your progesterone probably. I'm a nurse. I can't diagnose. I can't treat, but I can point you in the right direction of the information that you need. So
I love that.
yeah.
And in that vein, how can people get a hold of you so that they could maybe ask a few questions and maybe you can steer them in the right direction? What's the best way to do that?
Well, I'm on LinkedIn at Shannon.Whittington at LinkedIn. I'm all over LinkedIn.
Yes, she is.
So you can DM me there and I'll be happy to. There's some good websites too for like women websites that you can actually take a test and see if you're deficient in some of these minerals and hormones.
Okay. I highly recommend connecting with Shannon, and you can find the LinkedIn address at the bottom of this show in the show notes, guys and gals. Please pass this on because it's really vital information, news you can use, because all the fanfare, all the personal development, all that rah doesn't mean anything if you can't sleep.
Yeah.
Or if your hair's falling out in your hands and you don't feel pretty or whatever, just healthy, there's no vitality to make the rest of your life the best of your life.
Exactly.
And I'm all about it. Like it should not take the rest of your life to do it.
No.
There's barely, not instantaneous, but you had a pretty quick result.
Oh yeah, I had a quick result. And just for the men out there who think this isn't about you, yes it is. It's called andropause. You go through it too. You know what I'm talking about, because you can't do what you used to do as long as you used to do it. Just saying, their testosterone drops. So you go through it also. It's not just us girls. So if you're experiencing that, or your wife, your partner, your mother, whoever it is, and you just hear this person saying, oh my God, I can't sleep, I don't know what's wrong, my moods are all over the place, have her watch this show and get in touch with us.
Right on. I love that. Thank you so much, Shannon.
Thank you for having me. I can't believe I met you. Oh my God. Such an honor. And thank you for doing such an important podcast for this demographic. It's really needed.
Thank you. Thank you. I really believe that the rest of your life can be the best of your life, and it should not take the rest of your life to do it. This is Lonnie Ray, and I'm out for now, but I'll be back.
Bye.